Here we go, episode 4 of the Carnivore Entrepreneur Show. I just need more money and everything will be fine. Have you ever found yourself saying that? You just need more money and life will be sorted, that you'll be able to have the things that you want to have, that you'll be able to fix the things that you want to fix. More money in will just solve everything. Well, I used to think exactly the same thing, and I was in this cycle for years. Like literally years. I was even in this cycle when our business was making over 7 figures a year. Still in this cycle of needed more to be able to do things that I wanted to do and buy the things that I wanted to buy and have the things that I wanted to have. But making money, like I said, wasn't my problem. I went from a part-time job to full-time to making 40K a year to making 70K a year, having a 7-figure business. And I was still in this cycle of, I just need more money. Like it wasn't actually like probably last year where I started coming out of this need to just make more and more and more and realized that it wasn't about making more money, it was about keeping, and that was the problem. I didn't hold on to it. I didn't keep it. I'm going to tell you a story about where our business exploded. You've obviously heard about the story of how we started our business and when I slowed down to speed up and I got my body into the right place and we went from having 4 properties to 20 properties. I quit my job and 50K to 500K worth of bookings a year. And that enabled me to leave my job. And then COVID-19 hit. And we were in a great place in terms of, our bodies and our business was going really, really well. We weren't sure what to do when COVID-19 hit. Kay and I, because of the type of people that we are, we pivoted and we didn't stick our heads in the sand. We didn't do what everyone told us to do either. Have you ever heard the expression, what everyone else is doing, do the opposite? So everyone else in our industry, which is the short-term rental industry, Airbnb, all that sort of stuff, right? We were told to, when the first lockdown happened, told to shut down, told to not trade. However, we didn't listen to that. What we decided to look for, and this is again, seek and you shall find, right? We tried to find ways that we could stay trading. So we thought, yeah, okay, our normal customer base, the people that we'd normally look to and the platforms we'd normally use, like Airbnb and Booking.com, to generate people coming into our properties, we weren't able to use anymore. Instead of asking ourselves a question, how are we going to survive this? We asked ourselves a question of who at the moment needs properties to stay in? So we thought about all the people that needs properties to stay in. Well, we've got projects that are still happening around, need workers to work on. They're essential workers, council work. Key and essential workers like doctors, nurses, things like that, insurance placements. So my point is we looked for things and reasons to keep our business open. And long story short, because of this, we got an exemption to trade by the council. One way or another, we managed to get it because we were actually providing value to hospitals, we're providing value to council projects, so government authority projects. And that enabled us to get an official exemption. I know there was companies out there that were trading, without permission, right? But we got proper official permission to be able to do it. And this gave us confidence. This allowed us to plow forward. And actually what happened over COVID, so from the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2021, which is pretty much the whole COVID period, we tripled our business. We went from having 30 properties to about 90 odd properties, and we went from not being a 7-figure business to being a 7-figure business, right? We're well over £1 million worth of bookings. I think 2021 was our first year that we hit almost £2 million worth of bookings in 1 year. And this gave us and all of our clients that we were managing properties for confidence in us. And I had never seen this much money before. I had good jobs and always made decent money, but I'd never seen this much money before. So Kay and I, we enjoyed it and we enjoyed the money. When lockdowns and international travel, came out, we were going on holidays left, right and center. I think we had comments from loads of people, oh, you're on holiday again. Or where'd you go this time? We went to Las Vegas, we went to Hawaii, we went to New York, we went to places around Europe, went to 5-star luxury resorts. We flew business class, absolutely loving life. And in 2021, we decided to upgrade our house, and I'm in the house now. And don't get me wrong, I'm never getting rid of this house, but we were spending left, right, and center. We massively uplifted our lifestyle. We had a decent lifestyle before, don't get me wrong. Look, like, really grateful for my life. We had a decent lifestyle before, but we massively upgraded it. You know, our business tripled. We just had the opportunity, a lot more money in our bank account than what we'd ever had before. And then something, I guess, liberating and grounding happened. It sort of brought us down to earth, which was at the beginning of 2023, we noticed that we didn't have much money in the bank account. It sort of dried up. And this is where cash flow is really, really important. So we hit a huge, huge cash flow problem. What happened was we needed to take out a loan to be able to pay our staff and pay our clients. I think it was in January or February 2023, and we needed to figure out why this was. And it made us start searching for the reasons why. So we went down this road of building cash flow forecasts. We consulted lots of different people. We were on a search to find the answers of how to not let this ever happen again, because it was hard, right? You know, when you think you've got a lot of money and then it punches you in the gut. And it's happened even recently. Another story I'll tell you, not to do with anything that was a fault of our own. Well, it could be a fault of our own, but we were susceptible to, tail end of 2024, we were susceptible to criminal fraud, which maybe could have been avoided. But, you know, another financial thing, another lesson that we had. This thing in the beginning of 2023, after we'd been enjoying life for a good couple of years, going on loads of holidays, not worrying about where we're spending money. Do you know what? It's great. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed it. I actually put my healthy body and mind on the back foot as well, because we were enjoying it so much. Started drinking a lot more again and neglecting other areas of my life. And that again could have taken our eyes off the ball. Like, if we didn't enjoy life quite as much and put some of that money back into our wealth and keeping it, actually maybe my body and my mind would have been better and we wouldn't have ever had that issue. But I truly believe that things happen in your life to teach you stuff, right? And this situation, yes, we had a great time, and, you know, we've got memories that we'll keep forever. All of that enjoyment meant that we had to learn the hard lesson of having financial clarity and learning how to keep hold of our money as opposed to spending it. And that's where we went on this search. So we went on this search to find out why this happened. And the first thing that we figured out is we didn't have a cash flow forecast. So we built quite a sophisticated cash flow forecast to help show us what our business is going to look like in the future. And what made me realize at that time another problem was our financial clarity of how much money we were actually making in real time. So what our profit and loss looked like and what our balance sheet looked like. And we realized in 2023, our systems, our processes, they all needed to get sorted out. So we needed people around us that knew what they were doing, had the right stuff for our business, but we needed to get absolute financial clarity and set our business up for the future. And then through this clarity, we found a new peer group. And that peer group was through Dan Hill's Property Entrepreneur. And what that peer group did was remind us of all the important stuff, surround us with people that really cared. It gave us some key core nuggets to get our business moving in the right direction. And this whole search for the right things that we needed, the right peer group, the right financial clarity, and the right plans for the future, what that enabled us to do was it enabled us to build up our bank account again. And actually, it's quite funny because what happened then is the beginning of, or tail end of 2022, we had 2 investment properties. We owned 3. One was our home, which is the one I'm in at the moment. And the other one was our 2 investment properties, the 2 properties we used to live in. Because the way that we got our first couple investment properties is we lived in a property, did it up, moved on to the next one, did it up, and then moved on to this one. So we ended up with 2 investment properties. But then in between the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2024, we actually managed to triple the amount of investment properties that we had. So we went from 2 investment properties to 6 investment properties. Now these are not where you've got cash flow investment properties, where we've got properties that you lease and then put on Airbnb, but properties that we actually own and are going to be keeping them for the long term until we retire, until we're old, until we never sell them, type of thing. And they bring in a regular amount each month, all the time. So safe investments, right, to build our wealth for future. We actually managed to triple that in 1 year. So we went from 2017 when we started our business through to 2022 only having 2 investment properties, but went from 2022 to 2024 and tripled the amount we had because we used our money a hell of a lot better and didn't spend our money on so many frivolous things. We tailed it back a little bit and thought more about keeping our money rather than spending it on great experiences. Don't get me wrong, the great experiences are lovely, but they held us back from building our wealth and keeping our money for the future. Income is never the issue. It's how you manage the income to keep your money for long-term wealth. Now, not everyone is going to invest their extra income or extra surplus income into property as their long-term investment. There are lots of other things that you can put, lots of other assets you can put your money into. It doesn't necessarily have to be residential property. It could be commercial stuff. It could be businesses. It could be index funds. It could be loads of stuff. Whatever you want to do, whatever your bag is, but you need to understand it. Wherever you put your money into, you need to understand how it works. But the point is that you're putting your money into something long-term to build your long-term wealth. So the key things that we did was, number 1 is we understood our financial position a heck of a lot better. So we got financial clarity, and that's financial clarity on the past, which is your profit and loss, the present, which is your balance sheet, so how well you look right now, and then the future, which is your cash flow, so your cash flow forecast, because cash flow is king. One thing I've realized in business is cash flow is sometimes more important than profit, right? Number 2 is setting long-term goals and breaking them down into yearly, quarterly, monthly, and even weekly plans, right? And I know that I say right quite a lot. I need to stop doing that. So your challenge is to count how many times I say right? So number 2 is, like I said, setting long-term goals and breaking it down. Last but not least is number 3, which is surrounding yourselves with the right people. That's surrounding yourselves with the right people that help you with your business. And that can be your network, that can be the people that work in your business, or the people that you work with on a daily basis, it can be your coaches, your mentors, whoever that might be. You just need to surround yourself with the right people to get you to where you want to be. And I'm hoping this Carnivore Entrepreneur thing can attract a group of people that we can all support each other in getting ourselves to where we want to be in our bodies, in our minds, and ultimately bank accounts, so that we can enjoy things even more. And that's the point about a healthy bank account. A healthy bank account, yes, is absolutely starts with a healthy body, then leads to a healthy mind, and then you get the healthy bank account. But if you've already got a healthy bank account, but you don't have a healthy body or a healthy mind, your bank account can help you enhance those things. Like, as an example, if you haven't got a lot of money, you can't buy high quality produce. So like grass-fed beef as opposed to grain-fed beef. Grain-fed beef is a lot cheaper, a lot lower quality foods. This is what I mean. Another guy that I've followed called Gary Brecker talks about getting oxygen into your body. And this is another thing that I'll probably talk to you about in the future, is within my morning routine, I do breath work and get oxygen into my body. Now, Gary Brecker, while he still does that, he has an oxygen chamber, which costs thousands and thousands to have. But he uses his money to buy things that help him have a healthier body and a healthier mind. What I'm trying to show you here, and this is getting to the sort of tail end of my introduction to the Carnivore Entrepreneur System, which is basically the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars of a healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy bank accounts, right here on the logo, okay? The point is having that healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy bank account is not necessarily you need to have a healthy body before a healthy mind, because you might have a healthy mind first and that encourages you to have a healthy body. You might have even had a healthy bank account first and you can then use it to give yourself a healthy body and a healthy mind. But the point I'm trying to make is they all work together. Again, that's the point of the circle. The point of the circle is it all works together. It's not you need to have one first, then the other. It all works together. You need to be working on them all at the same time. I don't want to be 80 years old and not able to play with my grandchildren in the same way that I want to be able to do it in the same way that I can now. So body gives you the energy and the strength to be able to live life. A healthy mind gives you that purpose, that clarity, that why, that reason, and that thought process to make the decisions that you need to make that's right for your body and your bank account. Having the right things to do to generate a healthy bank account will come off the back of having a healthy body and a healthy mind. And then when you've got a great bank account, you can use the money that you've got to buy things to help you with a healthy body and a healthy mind. Like if you've got nothing in your bank, if you've got zero in your bank, you can't even afford a gym membership, but you can go outside and exercise. So think about that. It all works together. And that's where I really want to drive the message forward. I want people to believe what I believe. I want people to believe that you need all three. And that's the opportunity that I've got for people coming on this journey with me, joining me, learning as we go, because I'm still learning at the moment as well. But you need to give equal focus to each area. Same amount of focus to your body as you do your mind and as you do your bank account. None of those three things should suffer because of the other one. Remember, like I said, I've not figured this out. I'm learning lessons as we go. Our bank account would also be nowhere near. So my bank account, mine and Kay's bank account would be nowhere near where it is without a healthy body and a healthy mind. That's why the Carnivore Entrepreneur System treats all three pillars with the same level of importance. And that's what will make the difference for you. I truly, truly believe that. And if you believe the same, come on this journey with me, because the next episodes are going to be all about the frameworks and the things that I've learned along my way to getting a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a healthy bank account. I want to really hone in onto the specific frameworks that will get you to where you want to be in each of those areas. So I encourage you to watch along, but what I'd like you to do is just drop in the comments, what's the biggest financial mistake that you've ever made? Have you made any big mistakes? And have you tied that into anything that you've done that you shouldn't have? And some of the lessons that you might have learned along the way. So drop in the comments if you've made a big financial mistake in the past, because it will just allow people to see that they're not alone. They're not alone in making mistakes in business, because it definitely does happen to everyone. Now we've covered all of the sort of main three pillars of healthy body, healthy mind, healthy bank account. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you next the frameworks that I use to actually achieve those three things. So thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you all soon. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You are a carnivore entrepreneur. Live life how it was supposed to be lived, on your terms, with strength, energy, and purpose. I'll see you on the next episode.